Hey everybody, this is Herschel Froome from High School Top 200, and this Scots College review of 2016 is brought to you by Fineline Barbers. What Fineline Barbers has done is that they've teamed up with a major barbering supplier here in New Zealand, and they're putting on a Aotearoa barber competition in 2017 in September. They have a website going up, a Facebook page going up, an Instagram page going up for all barbers from around the country that wish to participate in the competition, and the barbers can actually upload their work onto these pages so that us as the public can also go out and see. It's going to be a one-day event that is going to be taking place here in Hamilton, and also it's going to bring all of those involved within the barbering industries here to Hamilton, all in one place, networking together, and also actually making a stronger community of barbers here in New Zealand. We have a lot of talented barbers here in New Zealand, so we want to find out who's the best and who's the most talent and who's got some style, and also who can get it done on stage. So look out for the Aotearoa Barber competition in September 2017, brought to you by Vinnie from Fineline Barbers. This Scots College Scots College review was kind of an interesting one to do, based on the fact that and what people don't understand is that Scots College is kind of new to the national platform of rugby. Like, if you're young, you would probably think that Scots has been good for years, but they haven't. And so after the strong, I would say, 4 years that they've had, this is the first time that they've actually really had to have a rebuilding year. And they've actually done really good. Like, I actually really think that, because obviously when you rebuild, especially for teams like Scots College, who are not a traditional powerhouse in terms of rugby, you would have a really big drop off from when it comes time to rebuild. Scots College have done great, and they haven't had that much of a drop off. They've gone out and recruited some really good players. They have brought really good players into their system. They've relied also on their structure of the best players that they've kept around, and the guys who are kept around to carry on the team and sort of lift the team and guide them as well. Bringing in these young dudes and hopefully making it try and work for them, so that this year was successful, to which I think it was. Even though they didn't win Wellington, or they didn't get far in sevens or anything like that, I still think that the drop off in terms of how much they lost in terms of last year, in terms of players, they've done really great this year. For me, their strength, apart from Connor, their strength was probably their loose forward. I really liked Harry Saker. I thought that he was really underrated. There wasn't a lot of talk about him, but I thought there should have been probably a bit more. Even on my part as well, I think I should have brought him more into the discussion, because he is a really good player, and at blindside, which is I think his position, and he did really well in taking care of his duties, along with Ezra Dunlop, who I thought was pretty unlucky to make that the Hurricanes under 18s, and Jack Loader as well. And here's the thing with Jack Loader, and I think this about a couple of guys around the country as well. Jack Loader, I think, if he was a prop this year, instead of playing number 8, because I actually think he'll be a prop when he goes into seniors and into club level and maybe onto his thing. So I think if he was a prop this year, I actually reckon he could have been a New Zealand secondary schools or barbarian prop, just for the attributes that he has and that he plays with as a number 8. If he brought that to the game of a prop and maybe restructured his game a little bit, to be able to take care of those core roles as a prop and also get his scrumming done and things like that, I think he would have been in that realm of rep honors. Because like if you watch him play, yes, he does all that stuff that a number 8 should do, and his running game is really good and he tackles really well. But I mean, if you had basically two of him, and then you had like a number 8 who does number 8 duties and maybe a bit more mobile, a bit more agile around the field, and you put him into prop maybe with seeing like and the thing was, and this is what I didn't understand, is that Scots College had 3 year 10s playing with him. Year 10s. One was a hooker, Sasevaa. And when you have a year 10 on the field, usually you would have a year 10 and they'll be playing out in the backs, like on the wing or something like that. But to bring them right in the middle of the physical contact, I thought that was like, that's a bit risky. I mean, Sasha, he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do, and he did it well for a year 10 player. But if you think about it, if you had Werdner, Moala, and Jack, and you just push Moala maybe into the hooker spot, even though he is a prop, I'm sure he can play hooker. And then you had Jack jump in at loose head prop and make Werdner play tight head prop. And then you brought one of maybe even just put Tama back at number 8 or something like that, or just rearrange it a bit. I think you would have had more, maybe a better range of a loose forward, and your team will be a bit more complete, and you won't lose leadership because you'd still have Jack on the field. And I always wondered that. I wondered why they made those moves or didn't make those moves. But I mean, like, that's just me. That's just me looking from the outside and seeing what they could have done or what I think because Jack would be. I'm not too sure if Jack can handle the number 8 position at a club level. But as a prop, I think he would do it way better, to be honest. I think that would be his position. It was good seeing Marlaw playing at at halfback and the way he controlled the game, and I think that he's one of those future kind of superstars to watch because he's so talented. He's got so much game to him. I'm just sort of waiting for him just to blow up, to be honest. Like he's that good of talent. I really liked watching Ty Nelly this year. Jack Gray is another one I really liked as well. I thought they were the guys that we should really be looking out for next year, and I'm pretty confident about the talent that they have coming back next year as well. Jack Mixted was another guy I really liked too, and Jalen Tuapola, I think his last name is. Yep. He's another guy that I really like, and I'm waiting for just to see what he can do next year. Along with Jack Mixted and guys like that and Jack Gray, who are I think are sort of up and coming talents for these fellas. And Scots didn't have that much of a bad year. I thought they did pretty good. Obviously they had that bad run sort of in St Kilda against Hastings. St Kilda against Hastings, Palmy. Like the Palmy game was kind of surprising, 29-8. That was pretty surprising to me. I didn't think that, I always thought Palmy was a stronger team, but not, 21 points were a stronger team. I didn't think that at all. They had a good game against Napier. I really liked that one. I'm not too sure. The game against Town was a bit, probably a bit shaky on them. I think they should have maybe did a bit more and could have got that win. But yeah, I think that even though this year didn't go as planned as what they thought it would go, I still think that this year was pretty successful. I think the talent that they have coming back next year and sort of the high hopes that they have for them, I I would be on their side and be pretty confident with them to say that yeah, they're going to be a contending team within Wellington. And I look forward to them and seeing what they can bring together too, having all these young fellas coming up as well. Yeah, and I think we could get maybe a future New Zealand secondary schools, one of them out of this bunch, and to me one is heaps as well. Like think about how many spots there are, not every school gets them. Yeah, I think we could probably get one out of there. But that's my review for Scots College, and look forward to the next ones. I'm really excited to do these preseason ones for next year as well. So have a look out for my next one. Peace.